Metro Brokers TV.
Welcome to Metro Brokers TV, and today we're speaking with Ted Bryant. And Ted is a Metro Brokers member. His company name is Ted Bryant Inc.
Right.
And welcome, Ted.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, and I'm honored to be here.
Ted, I guess we're really honored as a Metro Brokers organization to have you involved as a director for the Colorado Association of Realtors, a director for the National Association of Realtors, former chairman for the Real Estate Commission. I mean, it's a huge pedigree for any individual working for any company. And I'd just like to go over maybe some conceptions and misconceptions that maybe a lot of our members have about being a realtor. I mean, a lot of people think we're forced to be a realtor.
I don't think our members really take the time to realize what's available to them and also what the organization does really on all three levels. First of all, you have, and as far as somebody being a member, you really don't have to. You've heard in the past that I have to be because I want to be part of the MLS. That's not true anymore. We've separated that. You can join the MLS by yourself. But the benefits for the Realtor organization alone are well worth the money. And let's talk about money for just a minute. You have three different organizations, the National Association of Realtors. Now, the total dues there are $115, and $80 of that goes directly to programs. $35 of that money that you give NAR goes into our public awareness program.
Right.
And the public awareness program, we have gauged, it is very successful. We had member feedback that they wanted to be recognized as professionals. They wanted the public to appreciate what they did and how much effort that it took. And you remember that program we had, This Is My Life, and it was tremendously effective. So what we decided to do is to increase that public awareness campaign, and hence we've gone from 20 to 30, and now next year we'll be going to $35. So the other $80 actually goes to programs because with non-dues income, we can run, they can run NAR administratively. So then we have the state association, and their dues are currently $130. They were
so cars at $130.
They were at $110. We're going to go to $130 next year. And again, that money we pay for our staff, the education that's available. We have activities and meetings that pays for, where we get together and make decisions on what our priorities are and where we want to be with the organization and to serve the members and the public, and also to do our lobbying at the State House when the session is in. We have a committee called the Legislative Policy Committee, LPC, and they're in session when the legislature's in session. So any bill that comes up, we review it, decide whether it affects our customer or us, and we either monitor it, oppose it, or we support it. So being on top of that alone makes a lot of difference. So the transfer tax issue, for instance,
right?
We were able to defeat that. There was an additional tax on commercial property that was proposed in the legislature. We were able to convince the folks down there that was a negative thing.
Wow.
And then the transfer tax people were going to come to the ballot. So we put up a block of our money and said, you know, we're going to form a committee and oppose that and do everything we can to kill it. And the reason being, the main reason being, it isn't starting off at that big a number, but the reason being is in almost every other state in the country, that starts off at a low number, and then that's where the tax man goes to get increases.
So how much do you think most people are then paying to their local boards, like your Denver or Jeffco? What's that number come to?
It varies from board to board, and that's somewhere around $200. So if you put them all together, Mark, and I round it up, I would say your annual dues probably are not more than $450. If you break that down monthly, that's about $37 a month. For your vehicle, that's a tank of gas.
Yeah, for my vehicle, that's a quarter tank of gas, because it just cost me $85.
A little more than $1 a day. I can't imagine how anybody who considers this business as their profession wouldn't want to not only pay their dues, but to give some of their time, and then to also participate with us on our voluntary program called Political Survival Fund.
Yeah, and that's something that I was kind of surprised to hear, that there is a difference in the Political Survival Fund in how the money is collected. And a lot of these initiatives that we spoke of are fought with dues money. However, the Political Survival Fund is used exclusively to support candidates that carry our, let's just say, personal property rights torch.
Well, we do the last amendment. We split that PSF up into several different areas, but primarily candidates. A part of it goes to NAR for national candidates. Part of it goes to the state for state candidates. Part of it goes to the local association for local candidates. For instance, Colorado Springs City Council, or any city council, Denver for that matter, Lakewood, those councilmen and women are really important. All politics is local, really, and so those folks have to understand, or we hope they do, what it takes to have a vital ingredient, to have a good community that supports a quality of life, and then also is a good place to live and to educate your children. So the local level decisions are really important. That's why some of that money goes to that level.
Yeah, just issues like there's some heated discussions going on right now in Denver about downzoning, right? And what you can and can't do with the house that you own, that you bought.
I think in this area that we're in generally right now, there's some question as to changing the rules as from this point forward, what people can do. And eminent domain is another area that is a pretty hot topic with us. So there's just always seems to be something that we need to be aware of.
Yep, and I just think our members really need to look at the fact that for the money we pay for our profession, and we have the ability in this profession to make as much or more than a lot of, let's say, more educated professions, people that have went to school a lot longer, lawyers, doctors. I mean, there are people making good salaries in our profession.
Right.
They don't realize that for a measly sub $500 a year,
yeah,
all the benefits that allow us to kind of make the money we want to make.
And PSF is a voluntary contribution, and what we like to have is at least a minimum of $25 from every member. Of course, not every member does that, nor do they have to. But it's in their best interest. It's an investment, not an expense.
Right. Great, Ted. Well, super information, and we're glad to have you here on Metro Brokers TV.
Thank you, Mark. It's my pleasure.